Stop scrolling. This moment only works if you stay. My beloved child, before you even think of scrolling away, allow yourself a single breath of stillness. This moment is not random, not accidental, and certainly not meant for everyone who passes by. What you are about to hear carries intention. It carries timing, and it carries weight. Stay with it until the end, because something significant is unfolding right here, right now. For the past 2 days, while you moved through your routine, while the world continued its noise without pause, a signal has been quietly circling your name. Not loudly, not publicly, but persistently. It was subtle, almost easy to miss, yet it refused to disappear. You may have felt it as restlessness, as curiosity, or as that unexplainable sense that something important was approaching. That feeling was not imagination, it was recognition. This is not hype, and it is not coincidence. This is a moment you were meant to arrive at. The second you choose to skip, the meaning begins to dissolve. Imagine someone who values time more than money, silence more than noise, suddenly insisting on reaching you. Not once, but twice. 2 days of quiet attempts. That alone tells you this is not ordinary. Rare things do not announce themselves loudly, and they do not wait forever. Stay until the end, because every second you remain, the picture becomes clearer. Listen carefully now, because this is the part that changes everything. The world sees headlines, clips, and surface-level stories. But behind closed doors, decisions are made differently. Names are filtered, signals are tested, patience is measured. And when a name continues to surface despite every filter, it raises one powerful question. Why this person? This is where you come in. You are not chosen for noise or attention. You are noticed for timing. What stands before you is not about money alone, and it is not about fame either. It is about access. Access to a path that most people never even realize exists. While millions chase visible opportunities, this one quietly searches for alignment. That is why it reached yesterday. That is why it reached the day before. And that is why you are here right now. Stay until the end. Something meaningful is waiting. And if you feel your heartbeat shifting, that is not fear. That is recognition. This moment is testing only one thing. Will you stay when it matters, or will you scroll away like always? Once this window closes, it does not reopen in the same way. Lean in now, because the truth here is subtle but powerful. Offers like this do not arrive with fireworks. They arrive with silence paired with urgency. They appear when you feel least prepared yet strangely ready. 2 days of reaching out was not desperation. It was confirmation. Confirmation that you notice what others overlook. Confirmation that you can hold attention when it truly counts. Confirmation that you can stay present when something meaningful is quietly forming. Do not leave now. Not when you have come this far. The next moments will begin. Connecting dots you did not even realize were scattered across your life. This is not the reveal. It is not the climax. It is the door. And doors like this do not remain open for long. Stay until the end. Something important is waiting. And the fact that you are still here proves you were meant to hear what comes next. Before doubt has a chance to settle in, slow this moment down. The biggest mistakes are made when people rush past discomfort. Do not skip. Stay. When a connection keeps reaching out, it is never about chasing you. It is about seeing whether you can recognize value before it becomes obvious. Most people only react when everything is explained, guaranteed, and loud. But this is none of those things. This is quiet pressure. This is opportunity testing awareness, not luck. For 2 days, the signal did not stop because it was never meant to. It was meant to see if you would pause long enough to notice. This part is not about the offer itself. It is about why you are even in the room where offers are discussed. Stay until the end. Something meaningful is waiting. And when you understand this, your perspective will shift permanently. Big decisions are not made in public. They are made by observing patterns. Who stays consistent? Who remains calm? Who does not disappear when curiosity turns into responsibility? You did not arrive here by accident. Every delay, every redirection, every almost missed moment was part of the filter. And you pass simply by staying. That is why the message feels heavier now. That is why your focus feels sharper. It is not pressure. It is alignment. This is how doors open before anyone else even knows they exist. What comes next is not a promise. It is a choice that only makes sense to those who can hold attention without demanding instant reward. Stay until the end. Something meaningful is waiting. And the next part will show you why timing matters more than talent. If you are still here, you are already proving something rare. You do not just witness moments. You recognize them. That is why this connection did not stop trying to reach you. The air feels different now, doesn't it? That is because curiosity has crossed into consequence. Most people leave at this stage, not because they lack interest, but because they fear what staying might demand. You stayed, and that alone sets you apart. The reach over the last 2 days was not persistence. It was a quiet countdown, measuring your ability to remain present without explanation. This moment is not about hype. It is about readiness. Real opportunities do not shout. They resonate. Special offers are not given to the loudest or the fastest. They are revealed to the most composed. That is why this feels slow, intentional, and patient. The reach continued not out of urgency, but out of respect for timing. When something valuable is involved, the final step is never rushed. Stay until the end. Something meaningful is waiting, designed to arrive only when you are focused enough to receive it without fear or doubt. Notice the calm. That calm is alignment. You are not being pulled. You are being invited. And invitations like this never come twice in the same form. Stay until the end. The next moment will reveal why these 2 days mattered more than you realized. Most people lose focus here, not because the moment weakens, but because it grows heavier. You stayed. The reach was confirmation that you would not panic, rush, or treat this like just another video. This is where attention turns into leverage. Understand this clearly. When an offer is real, it does not arrive wrapped in certainty. It arrives wrapped in silence and timing. You were never meant to chase it. It was meant to find you while you stayed still enough to notice. Now breathe and remain present. What comes next will not repeat itself in the same way. This is not pressure. It is alignment revealing itself. Stay until the end. Something meaningful is waiting, and patience was the real test all along. You are now in the quiet zone, where truth stops chasing attention and waits to be noticed. What you feel is not excitement alone. It is clarity forming. Only those who can sit with anticipation without demanding proof reach this point. The value of what approaches is not in speed, but in care. 2 days was not persistence. It was calibration. You were not meant to react. You were meant to recognize. Everything unnecessary has fallen away, leaving one question. Are you present enough to receive what comes next? Stay. Do not rush. Do not scroll. The silence is not emptiness. It is precision. The next step will not feel loud or dramatic. It will feel right. And if you are still here, that itself is the signal. This was never meant to be skipped. My beloved child, you are now standing in a narrow space that most people never reach. It is the space between knowing and receiving, between awareness and arrival. This place feels quiet, controlled, almost suspended in time. Do not skip this moment. Stay until the end, because something meaningful is waiting for you, and it responds only to those who can remain present without needing proof. At this point, nothing is chasing you anymore. Nothing is trying to grab your attention or pull you forward. Everything is simply watching. Watching to see if you remain steady as the moment stretches longer than expected. Watching to see if your focus holds firm when there is no immediate reward attached to staying. This is not suspense created for drama. This is suspense created for alignment. The tension you feel is not pressure. It is precision. Leaving now would mean stepping away just before understanding becomes complete. Stay until the end, because what is waiting for you responds directly to your ability to remain grounded. Here is what makes this moment powerful. You are no longer being tested by curiosity. You are being tested by discipline. Curiosity is easy. Anyone can feel curious when something feels mysterious. Discipline is different. Discipline is staying when nothing new is being offered yet. That is why this feels different from everything before it. This is not excitement rising. This is certainty settling. Stay until the end. Something meaningful is waiting for you, and it is designed to arrive only when you are calm enough not to doubt it when it does. Notice how your focus feels sharper now. That sharpness is not coincidence. It is readiness. You are not being rushed forward or pulled backward. You are being asked to hold this position just a little longer, without reaching ahead or second-guessing behind. Do not skip at the edge of completion. Stay until the end. The final clarity is closer than it appears. If you have stayed through silence, patience, and stillness, then you already understand something most people never will. Some moments do not need noise to change everything. My beloved child, this is the point where everything you felt before finally finds its meaning. The tension you sense is no longer uncertainty. It is anticipation taking form. You are no longer asking if something is coming. You are beginning to understand why it waited. This space exists to ensure that you are grounded, not overwhelmed. Do not skip now, because this is where clarity quietly takes control. Stay until the end. Something meaningful is waiting for you, and it is arriving because you proved you could stay without distraction. Understand this deeply. The reason this journey felt slow is because speed filters nothing. Stillness filters everything. You are not being delayed. You are being aligned. The calm settling inside you is the signal that resistance has dropped away. This is how doors open without noise. They do not announce themselves. They simply become available. Stay until the end. Something meaningful is waiting for you. And it no longer needs persuasion or pressure. It only needs your presence exactly as it is right now. Remain here just a little longer. Release expectations. Release the urge to rush forward. Do not skip at the final layer of understanding. Stay until the end. When what is waiting finally settles, it will not feel shocking. It will feel inevitable. That is how you know you did not miss it. You can feel it now, can't you? The weight of this moment becoming steady instead of heavy. This is the phase where uncertainty fades, not because answers become loud, but because alignment becomes complete. Nothing is rushing you anymore. Nothing is pulling you ahead. The silence itself is confirming that you are exactly where you need to be. Leaving now would mean turning away just as everything has settled into place. Stay until the end. Something meaningful is waiting for you, and it responds to stillness, not impatience. Here is a truth that only reveals itself at this depth. The most valuable moments do not feel explosive. They feel stable. They do not create chaos. They create direction. What is approaching you is not trying to impress you. It is trying to meet you at your level of awareness. Stay until the end. Something meaningful is waiting for you. And the reason it feels calm is because it is real. Nothing forced ever lasts. Nothing rushed ever stays. This moment is different because it has been earned. Remain exactly as you are. No second guessing. No distractions. Do not skip at the threshold of completion. Stay until the end. The next continuation will not surprise you with noise. It will confirm what you already sense deep down. You did not come this far by accident, and you will not miss what is meant for you by staying just a little longer. My beloved child, this is the moment where understanding stops forming and simply locks in. You are no longer searching for meaning. It is already sitting with you, steady and clear. The balance you feel now exists because resistance has ended. Nothing is asking you to prove anything anymore. You stayed when it was quiet. You stayed when nothing was obvious. This is why the door does not creak open dramatically. It stands open calmly, confidently. Stay until the end. Something meaningful is waiting for you. And it is waiting because you arrived without noise. Let this truth settle. What comes next is not a rush, not a shock, not a dramatic turn. It is confirmation. Confirmation feels peaceful. It feels like recognition, not surprise. Stay until the end. Something meaningful is waiting for you. And it matches the patience you have shown to reach this point. That is why there is no pressure now. No countdown, no urgency. The timing has already aligned. Hold your focus just a little longer. Do not skip at the moment where everything finally makes sense. Stay until the end. Something meaningful is waiting for you. And if you are still here, you already understand the truth. This was never about chasing an offer. It was about becoming ready to receive it. My beloved child, there is nothing left to question now, only something to acknowledge. The quiet you feel is not emptiness. It is space-making room. This is where effort steps aside and alignment takes over. You did not rush. You did not demand proof. You stayed. And because you stayed, the message becomes personal rather than loud. Stay until the end. Something meaningful is waiting for you, matching the steadiness you showed. This is the shift most people never notice. The moment stops asking for your attention and starts respecting it. There is no urgency because certainty no longer needs explanation. Stay until the end. Something meaningful is waiting for you, arriving in a way that feels natural, almost familiar, like something that was always meant to meet you right here. Remain present just a little longer. Do not drift. Do not scroll away. Do not skip at the moment where readiness becomes reality. Stay until the end. Something meaningful is waiting for you. And the calm you feel now is the signal that you are prepared. This is not the end of the journey. It is the moment the path recognizes you back.